Hey YouTube, so today we're going to talk about power steering on a 2006 Chevy Malibu. One thing about the power steering on this particular car, this is done from a this is done on a car that has electric power steering. Okay, meaning that it's not a fluid system, so you don't have any fluid lines. Normally you'd have like a little fluid pump back here, a reservoir and a pump on this particular motor for it. But as you look down there, you can see the steering rack. Well, if I can focus the light on it, you can see the steering rack down there. And a lot of people have asked me about, well, where's the steering motor? And they think that the steering motor is under the car. Well, you can see here's part of the rack there, and it goes on up. And it's not, that's not where the electric steering motor is on this car. The electric steering motor on this particular car is on the inside. Okay? So you have to tear all this stuff off, and then you'll find the motor up in there. So I'm going to get some tools and get this stuff apart. We had to do some other work. We had it jacked up. We finished that. Now we're going to do the motor part. But I'll get some tools and get that pulled off and show you where that motor is and how to fix it. We'll be right back. Alright, so we're taking these out. There's two screws at the bottom of this panel. These are 7mm screws. I'm going to take two at the bottom out. Also, quick tool review. I bought this little ratchet at O'Reilly's. I think it's like 20, maybe 25 foot-pounds. Lightweight. Excellent little tool to use. I highly recommend it. For the price, you can't beat it. And for, you know, what it will provide for you, I'm sure you can't beat it. Highly recommend it. So, now we'll pull this cover off. If I can get a good finger grip here. Make sure there's no screws behind it. This has got tabs on it. Give me a second, I'm gonna pull this off and we'll come back to recording. Alright, also on the side of the of this particular panel, you've got two screws on the side that you'll need to take out. There's one. And there's two. Also disconnect your wire connections like here. Well, actually you don't need to disconnect that one, but you'll disconnect this wire connection here, and that'll pull everything out. And under there is your power steering motor. Okay, and it's attached, the motor's actually over here. This is the gearbox for it, and it's attached by two screws, Torx head. I think they're 6 Torx socket. I'll get the tool to make sure, and then we'll be right back and we'll pull it on off. Okay, here's your closer look at that motor. Alright, there's a direct look at it. Here's the motor here. You'll notice you have two screws here. You'll take those out and this motor will slide out. You got a wire connection here. You take these wiring connections loose and slide the motor out. And then when you get the new one, slide it in. And there is a program procedure. If I can find it, we'll go through that as well so that you can program it. Pretty easy. The connector, you squeeze and pull, squeeze and pull. I'm going to get the right size tool here so we can take that off, and we'll be right back. Okay, so you'll need an E9 socket to get that off. Those two nuts, there's one right there, one right there, and there's one on the other side. So we'll go ahead and take those off. One. Can't really film and pull that, so I'm gonna pull that other one off and then we'll come back to filming. Okay, so we got that off. You'll notice once you take, let's put some light on it. You'll notice once you take that off, you see how it's already starting to protrude and fall out. Okay. So take that off, then you just shake it a little bit. And look at that. That motor will fall right down out of there. Now, of course, you'll want to pull that wire off the wiring harness. Pull that wiring harness off of there. I'll get some tools and take that off. But that's your motor right there.
Give me a second, we'll pull it out and get a closer look.
Okay, so there's the motor. Alright, kind of a big thing. There's the connection and stuff. I called around on this thing. I got a new price, anywhere from $750. I think the cheapest I found was $401, I believe. So definitely call around and check. These are from like local parts houses. So definitely call around and check, see, because you never know, you might be able to find it cheaper somewhere else as opposed to the place you originally planned to buy it. Alright, so we're going to go get the new one and get it back together and hopefully have this car running this evening.